What is good, everybody? I am back with a brand new video, and today I wanted to go over some of my favorite discs that I was throwing in 2024 that'll still make the bag in 2025. If you've been around for a while, I'm sure you've seen all of these discs quite a bit on the channel, but I wanted to highlight them all in one separate video. I got 5 of my faves, so let's get into this. Coming up first is the MVP Detour. I got my hands on this disc around June, and ever since it's been a game changer for me. I fell in love with this disc because it has tons of glide and a nice touch of stability, and what I mean by that is it's not too understable, but it's also not too overstable. For me, that's perfect because I like to throw on hyzer quite a bit, and this thing just flips up to flat and is honestly pure money. I don't bag too many mid-ranges, usually just 2 or 3, and before I got the Detour, I would say the buzz would have been in this spot, but ever since getting the Detour, I reach for it more often than my buzz as long as it's not too windy. It's probably pretty similar to the Buzz SS, so if you've thrown one of those, you get an idea of how this flies. I don't know what it is, but this thing just goes forever, and that's why it made my top 5. Next up, we have this 7-speed monster, the Athena. I've been bagging this prototype Athena for quite some time now, but I don't think I've ever relied on it as much as I do now. The Athena is super similar to the Innova T-Bird, and personally, I don't know if there's a huge difference between the two, but for some reason, I've just latched on to the Athena. I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on this disc, but I will say I think everyone needs something like it in the bag. A nice consistent fairway driver that's still workable on those angles. I really feel like this is the type of disc that you want to be able to reach for off the tee pad or for that approach shot on that long par 4. It's just super consistent and it's always going to get the job done. Now I gotta say, I have tried a ton of discs, and when I go out to throw them, sure I might like them, sure I might not like them, but usually I'm not overly excited about them. Now this third one is one that I got stoked about after throwing it for the first time, and that is the MVP Trail. This 10-speed is fantastic. What I really like it for is that nice hyzer flip to straight shot. If I really need to go down a tunnel with minimal fade, I feel like this is the disc. Whether that be forehand or backhand, this is just a dead straight flyer off of hyzer. Now what I will say is I think I got slightly lucky with my trail because I've seen other people's trails and they don't fly like mine. They're a little bit more stable, so I don't know if it's this blue colorway or what it is, but this thing is a hyzer flip machine for me that just goes dead straight. It's super comfortable in the hand, it goes farther than you would think, and this is definitely one of those discs that I just was stoked about after I threw it for the first time. I could not believe it. It instantly made my bag. So if you haven't tried a trail, I would suggest at least giving it a go or borrowing somebody's and trying it out for yourself because this disc is amazing. This might be my favorite release of 2024. Now these next two were really just go-to distance drivers for me. This next one I get really excited about. I'll always talk about it, and that is the Discraft Hades. The reason I like the Hades so much is because for me it just goes far. And my arm speed, I feel like it's a perfect high-speed driver for me. At 12.6, -3.2, seems pretty flippy, but again, I like to throw on that hyzer. So this is usually the disc I'm reaching for if I really am trying to hit 400 or over 400 feet. Just nice hyzer flip. Of course, I have to have good wind for it because if there is headwind, no bueno, don't even give it a try. But tailwind or a nice calm day, I'm reaching for my Hades for that max distance shot. The one thing I will say about the Hades, or honestly, understable discs in general, if you're trying to hyzer flip them, practice a lot with that disc because if you don't hit that angle right, good chance you're just gonna topple over and you're gonna cut roll 100 feet away, you know? So you really got to practice, find the right stability, but once you do, I feel like these things absolutely bomb. This is actually a prototype that my buddy found at Hazy Shade that I picked up. Super dope. I love it. You can't go wrong with the Hades in my opinion, at least if you have an amateur arm speed. This last one might be the most boring of them all, but my go-to driver. So I don't know if it's all that boring. I just reach for it a lot. And that is gonna be the Discraft Zeus. In specific, I have this 5x1 that I reach for all the time. I think it was the beginning of last year. Don't quote me on that because I'm terrible with time frames. But the beginning of last year, I'm gonna say, I switched over 2 Discraft Zeus's. So I bagged 3 of them now in all different stabilities. And this one is my most beaten in one. So I'm able to usually get some sort of flip up out of it. If I throw it flat, a little turn. I like this disc because it feels good when I backhand it and forehand. You can see this sick forehand, maybe one of my greatest shots of 2024 right here on the screen. Oh my gosh, what a freaking shot. Slow. But yeah, I was devastated because I thought I lost this disc, and it turns out my brother just picked it up and put it in his bag and forgot he picked it up. Here is literally my live reaction when I realized we had it. Oh my God. What? That, oh, you have it! I had no idea I picked it up. Oh, hallelujah! The disc golf gods are with me! Anyway guys, I say this is the most boring disc out of the 5, only because I'm picking this up almost every tee shot. It's not doing anything phenomenal for me, it's just my consistent driver if I need to, you know, hit the fairway, hopefully. Anyway guys, these are some of my favorite discs that I am currently throwing and that I was throwing in 2024. I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. I think they'll be in my bag for quite some time. Of course, I have a lot of favorite discs. Probably every disc I bag is pretty close to my favorite, but these are the ones that stuck out to me recently and kind of toward the end of 2024. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know some of your favorites down below, and we will see you on the next one.